We have this coterie of rich franchises, the company now, that people want to engage with.
I came here to try and continue what Walt Disney and his associates set in motion 50 years ago, which is to experiment with every new and innovative kind of entertainment possible.
It's what they hope to do here, to really develop something that, well, it's just more than an entertainment enterprise. It's something that contributes in many other ways.
Hey, this is Synergy Loves Company, where we explore how Disney connects to everything so you can feel connected to Disney when you can't be at the parks. I'm Eric, and today we're live. So it's a little bit of a different kind of an episode. It's kind of a new format that I've never done before. And hopefully I get to hear from some of you in real time live. We got some time later when we're going to do a whole kind of activity. We'll do an activity together. It'll be fun. But anyways, if you've been listening to the podcast, I've been talking about this coming up, this live stream. It's a kind of episode that I would love to do as time goes on, do more of these, kind of invite more other Disney creators on to kind of do some of those interview shows I did in the past. It would be great to do those live in this way so that you could be part of it too. So like I said, this is going to be a different format today. It's kind of like the Synergy Loves Company variety show. We'll get into a little news. I got kind of a feature presentation section that we'll do. We're going to talk about the show's run so far. So this is kind of a celebration of some milestones of Synergy Loves Company. We're going to do some other random things. I got some Lorcana cards I want to open up. And like I said, we're going to do a little activity. And of course, I'd love to chat with you. So if you're listening, let me know in the chat where you're, that you're here, what's going on with you and what you're excited about for this stream today. So, let me know you're here, drop a comment in there and I'll definitely give you a shout out. With that, like I said, we're going to kick it off with some news. So let's actually do it. Let's get to our first segment here for some Synergy news. So I have the little sting there. It started us out there. We're into the news segment, and I do want to talk about the kind of news that we'll usually do on this show. It's not going to be necessarily the most breaking news. We're not going to talk about an animatronic Walt Disney or anything like that. We're going to want to talk about more like the Synergy Loves Company news. So like the news of Disney connecting to other stuff. So this is that news that's right up the alley of how Disney connects to everything. Not like that park news, breaking news kind of stuff like that. It might be a little bit older news in some ways, but maybe some news that flew under the radar. Sometimes it'll be business news, like what's going on in the Walt Disney Company. And other times it'll be, of course, my favorite Disney brand collaborations. So let's get our first story up here, because this one is probably the most, it's happening right now in front of us. Coca-Cola's Refresh Your Galaxy promotion with Star Wars. So we started out this summer and Coca-Cola was like putting names of people on their, random names of, like got some cans that said like share a Coke with your bro. But now you can share a Coke with, Princess Leia or something like that, based on these cans. So they have all these different designs of cans that have Star Wars characters on it, but there's a little bit more to it than just Star Wars characters. There's apparently this like AR experience. I haven't gotten a chance to try it yet, but there's an AR experience where you can make like a hologram message of yourself, kind of like Princess Leia's "Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope" kind of thing. And then you can send that to other people. So it's kind of a full like experience that they're going for, which is kind of neat. I gotta flip over to this because it shows, I mean, they're kind of small from where you're seeing them, but there's all the cans and bottles and things here. There's apparently 30 limited edition cans and bottles, and these pictures come from one of my favorite Instagram accounts for snacks, Marky Devo. So shout out to him. But they have different cans come with different characters, so you can't get exactly what you want on any given can. If you like regular Coke, you're gonna have certain characters you can get, and if you like Coke Zero, you're gonna have different characters you can get, and if you like Diet Coke, well, there's not anything for Diet Coke. They're doing their own thing, I guess. But Diet Coke is kind of like its own thing. So I think they kind of kept that out of the mix. But if you're going for the original Coca-Cola Classic, you could get Lando, you could get Obi-Wan Kenobi, Padme, Kylo Ren, Ahsoka, Darth Maul, K2SO, Boba Fett, Poe Dameron, The Mandalorian, just The Mandalorian, though. More on that in a second. You could get Cassian Andor, General Grievous, or Emperor Palpatine, regular original Coke. Those ones. If you're a zero sugar kind of person, though, you want Coke Zero, you could get Darth Vader, Yoda, Princess Leia. I kind of like this list. This is more like classic list here, you know. Anakin Skywalker. You can get Darth Vader and Anakin Skywalker on Coke Zero. They should have split it so that it was one on each, but there you go. You can get Chewbacca, Han Solo, BB-8, C3PO, R2D2, Finn, Rey, Grogu, and an Imperial Stormtrooper. But there's going to be some like special edition ones that you can only get at Walt Disney World and Disneyland, and that's the Mandalorian and Grogu together. A First Order Stormtroopers, like the newer one, and Chewbacca. You can only get those at the Disney parks. So there's kind of like you got to go to the parks for some of them, and they're kind of they're up in the little corner of all the bottles. But in addition to that stuff, Coca-Cola is selling some like Coca-Cola Star Wars branded merch. So there's also like special t-shirts and sweatshirts. If you really love Coke and you're a Star Wars fan, like that's, I guess this is the perfect thing for you, you know, Disney connecting to Coca-Cola. So, you know, you could go check those out if you want. That's kind of a weird merch item, which I think is kind of cool. So once you get the can, or apparently you could, you know, no purchase necessary. I think there's like QR codes on billboards and stuff around too. You can scan the can, and then it gets you into this AR experience, like I said, where you can learn more about the whole thing here. This refresh your galaxy, or you can create that holographic message and then send it to a friend. So yeah, Coca-Cola and Star Wars is kind of, I mean, I love Star Wars, but like it kind of caught me off guard. There's not like a new Star Wars promotion, so like Coca-Cola plus Star Wars, I'm here for it though. But there are some you know, promotions going on that aren't just Coca-Cola putting pictures on. Actually, before we go on to it, I would love it if Coca-Cola would have made like a new flavor, like a Coke Creations flavor for Star Wars, instead of just like Coke Zero and Coke, and we put Star Wars characters on it. So maybe I'm not as here for it as I was originally thinking. I would love it more if there were like a new flavor. They did those Coke Creations. It would be awesome. But anyways, even though that's kind of out of the blue, there is some more stuff that's happening this summer that got some tie-ins, some stuff, Disney plus something else. And that's, of course, for we'll go to the Marvel world and get into the Fantastic Four, some tie-ins where Fantastic Four, Marvel, and Disney are connecting with some other products and experiences and stuff like that. So the first one I want to talk about is with Fantastic Four coming out July 25th, just about a week or so, week and a half away, coming up close. They're getting into some of these collaborations with products and food. We did Coke, get that Coca-Cola, and get a pizza to go with it, because Little Caesars and the Fantastic Four have this new 4-in-1 pizza. And so it's like 1/4 of the pizza is like devoted to a different Fantastic Four member. So there's cheese, pepperoni, sausage, and bacon. I guess that kind of makes it look kind of rocky. More on that in a second. And then there's like a pepperoni and jalapeno section too. So I kind of think they tried to make the 4 different parts of the pizza like match the Fantastic Four characters. So you got like the pepperoni on its own, I guess, is supposed to be Reed Richards, because the cheese part is like it's it's like invisible toppings, I guess. And then the sausage bacon kind of gives it that rocky, bouldery look like the thing. And then of course the spiciness from the jalapeno would give us like that Human Torch feel. So I I kind of would like the Mr. Fantastic part to have, like, extra cheese pull or something like that. I think that could be cool to get that stretch element, but, I gotta say they did a good job trying, and they got something kinda interesting that I don't think they've really done that much in the past, so I kinda like this. There's 4 different box designs that could be put together, but I don't really know why you're gonna collect and keep a pizza box unless you ordered, like, 4 pizza boxes, but chances are you're probably gonna get like 3 of the same one and then like 1 different one, and then you're gonna be like, "Come on, why why did I order 4 pizzas?" So yeah, I don't recommend collecting pizza boxes, but I guess any like pizza box could be considered collectible. If you wanna save a greasy pizza box, so, there's that. So I commend them for trying. But more collectible with Fantastic Four coming out are these really cool cereal boxes. So Fantastic Four takes place back in the 1960s, and General Mills has collaborated with Disney and Marvel to make uh these throwback cereal boxes, which are pretty cool, except like I mean, Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Reese's Puffs didn't exist uh together. Like they didn't exist in the same time as the movies coming out. So like, okay, I get the Lucky Charms, the Cheerios, but some of these new ones, these kind of like retro versions of the newer cereals, it's kind of cool. But there's one box for each of the characters, kind of like we had with Little Caesars. But these ones kind of give us a different character on each cereal. So these are like the top 4 here. We've got the Honey Nut Cheerios with the Human Torch. We've got the Cinnamon Toast Crunch with Mr. Fantastic, Reese's Puffs with the Thing, and then we've got the Invisible Woman Lucky Charms here. The Lucky Charms box, that retro box, actually appears in the movie, so that's a pretty cool thing. And then there's a couple extra boxes that I don't have shown here, but that are coming out like exclusives to places. So if you go to Kroger, you can pick up a Herbie the Robot Friend of the Fantastic Four on like a retro box at Trix, which is really cool. And then Walmart has a retro Cocoa Puffs with Galactus on it. So there's that. And they're also going to do the Lucky Charms like limited edition box that comes with a Johnny Storm collectible that you can get in the box, which is kind of cool. So that's coming out later too. Fantastic Four cereal. That mid-century throwback look is really cool. Keeping on with a Fantastic Four, I got a lot of Fantastic Four products here. Is this idea of this AR thing is coming back, the bottle with the AR. So the first time I saw these, I was like, this is just Snapple with a character on it, and I wasn't going to talk about it. But then I found out that there is a AR experience. I watched a little video of it, and it really just is like it shows the bottle, and then you can watch the trailer and do some stuff. Apparently, it's a big deal because the AR was designed by Blipper, this company that does AR experiences, and that was like a big deal for them. So if you're into Snapple and you're getting excited about the Fantastic Four, you pick one of these up, you can scan it and see the trailer, the little animation where the characters pop off. And then there's you could enter some sort of contest on there too. So Fantastic Four crossovers with Snapple. There you go. So let's get on to another synergy news piece. We've got the Summer of Stitch happening in children's hospitals all around the world, really. So a few months ago, I did an episode about Imagineering outside of the parks, and we talked about Disney's work with children's hospitals, and how they do a lot. It's not just Imagineering that works with them; it's kind of a lot of different facets of the company. So I wanted to talk about this special Stitch event. So all summer, Disney and Starlight Children's Foundation are bringing like Stitch themed events to children's hospitals all around the world. There's like special screenings of Lilo and Stitch that they started last month. They're bringing, of course, like in the picture here, a walk around character of Stitch to a lot of hospitals to meet with the young patients. And they have some like Stitch plush and merchandise giveaways. So you could see that they're even in their philanthropy, they're giving some synergy marketing opportunities there. So yeah, if you didn't check out that episode I did, it was about 5 places that Disney Imagineering has worked that aren't in theme parks, and one of those is their work with the children's hospitals. So kind of a cool thing to note there. All right, we've got another one. This one was announced about I don't know, about a month ago, and it's that Disney and Formula One racing are coming together. Now, Warner Brothers and Apple just put out that F1 movie. So it's I mean, that's kind of related, but that's not exactly it. Disney is getting into the real deal Formula One racing. So I don't really know what this is going to be. But it's going to come sometime in 2026, Formula One racing, and specifically Mickey Mouse, not just like all of Disney, but specifically Mickey and Friends are collaborating on this. And so Disney released a statement on it. And I think it kind of puts us where we don't really know what it's going to be yet, but this is what they said. They said, as we celebrate nearly a century of Mickey Mouse and Friends, our collaboration with Formula One offers a unique opportunity to bring two powerhouse entertainment properties together to create products that fans will love. So it sounds like it's going to be something. They might even do some like I'm imagining Mickey will show up at a lot of Formula One races. They've got this car, so they might use it, and we'll see. They claim that it will be an unforgettable content and experience tailored for Disney and F1 fans alike. So I think it's one of those like F1 fans and Disney fans coming together in that world of whatever this promotion crossover is. Who knows? Maybe there will be enough that we could do a whole video about it, but I I don't know yet. So we'll see what that means. But Disney has done some stuff like this back in the past. In the 80s, there were some times when they sponsored the Indy 500. And I know that throughout the years, they've done some product tie ins and things with NASCAR. So they've worked with like, the racing leagues and all that. And we'll have to see what happens with F1 and Disney, which will be kind of an interesting one. So yeah, that's what I have for my top news stories here. So with that, we'll probably get into our next segment, which is kind of our feature presentation. So let's do. All right. So usually I would love to do a feature presentation on these live shows where we would maybe have like a topic that we're talking about, or maybe have a guest on here. I've done some guests in the past, but for this first one, since this live stream is supposed to be a celebration of Synergy Loves Company, and some of my recent milestones, I wanted to kind of just talk about the show a little bit. So first things first, Synergy Loves Company, this is our 70th episode. This is the show's been on for 3 years. I've been kind of doing it, maybe not every, like, it's not a weekly show, but every month or every 2 weeks I've been putting out episodes. And so 3 years ago it started, when it started, it was just a podcast, like audio only podcast. If you listened way back then in the day 3 years ago in 2022, well, thanks for listening so long. If you just found it more recently, you'd know that we became more of a video show. Now there's a lot more video component and kind of the YouTube part of it, which I love exploring that YouTube stuff. But anyways, I started about 3 years ago in the spring of 22. It wasn't the first time I ever podcasted. I have another podcast I do with some friends called the Rare Cuts Media Society, and we had been doing that one for about a year. And I was like, well, I think now I got a grasp of it, and I want to take on the Disney style podcast because I love Disney. So my original idea was to do that audio only podcast that would be mostly interviews, have guests on, all about Disney topics. And so I started with friends and family, and I had those members of the Rare Cuts Media Society come on and guest on the show. So it was kind of fun to have them And then what happened is that first summer, I came back from a Disney trip, actually. We came back from a Disney trip, and I wanted to put out an episode each month, and I didn't have a guest lined up. I was like, "What should I do? I'm not prepared for a guest." And I did kind of like an essay style episode where I kind of talked about how I think Walt Disney's like use of synergy developed over time. And I kind of liked just that me doing that, like, monologue essay solo podcast thing. So I started to incorporate video, it wasn't videos yet. I started to incorporate little kind of like one-off episodes that were just me talking. I continued with guests, but then I did start posting some clips on YouTube. I got to tell you, let me take a drink of this water. I got to tell you, this is not my first live stream. I actually went live during that first year and kind of did like a really warts and all recording session of some episodes to try that out to see how it worked. I didn't really promote it. Not many people jumped in and watched. So it was, kind of an unepisode, like an unedited set of episodes back then. So I don't know, maybe one day I'll revisit those ones that I did live and kind of clean them up a little bit, but they were about Disney and like the Hearst collabs, like A&E and Lifetime, how Disney is a majority stake owner in those. And then I did one about Disney's heavy metal albums way back then too. So maybe I will revisit those and kind of clean them up. I think that could be pretty cool. But then about a year into or actually about no, it's now 2 years. About a year ago, I went in on video kind of more in a big way, and I started making my episodes video first. I'll still now and always do like the audio feed thing. Like you could still listen to Synergy Loves Company wherever you find your fine podcasts. I know that's terrible to say because I mean you could listen to your podcasts anywhere, but seriously, it's still there where you can listen. In fact, this live stream is going to be uploaded to the podcast catchers also, so you'll be able to listen to this. And maybe you are in the future. Hello in the future if you're there. But anyways, I started making those video first episodes and kind of putting more effort into YouTube. And just like a year into it, I hit that 1,000 subscribers mark, and that's when I started telling myself we'll do a live stream to celebrate. Right now, we're up to over 1,300 subscribers, which is, I mean, even more exciting. Um, and so I thought it would be cool to kind of go back and look at some of the episodes that were kind of like big milestones along the way through those years. So I'm gonna pop up my screen here again, and we'll talk about kind of like the past 3 years and some milestone episodes that went into these 70 Synergy Loves Company episodes. So it's kind of I popped them all up here real quick, but I want to talk about these ones real quick. So uh kind of the first audio only podcast episode that broke real big was one that I did with my daughter about Perry Grip and Disney. And that one just kind of I think it's still my most listened to episode. Like people go back on the mostly on the listening feed and listen to that one still today. I'll get you know, that all sorts of messages that people have been listening to Perry Grip and Disney, even though it's now 3 years old. So that that was kind of the first one that kind of got legs, and like I started to notice people kind of latching onto, which was exciting. Then another one I got to talk about is the first you see that Aero development in Disney. I did an episode on Aero development and their work with Disney, and I was joined by Adam Dworkin, who had a podcast at the time. I mean, it pops up every once in a while now, but he had a podcast at the time called Engineering Theme Parks, and it was kind of the first non-friend related person to me that I got to guest on the show. So it was kind of like, now we're making this thing happen. We're making it happen for real. So those were in my first year. And that was when we were audio only. And then in my second year, I did this thing, which I was like, you know what? I'm going to do a series where like these episodes link up together. This is still the audio only days. And so I did like the the main characters from Only Murders in the Building and kind of their connections to Disney, since it is a Hulu Disney kind of show. And so I did it was called Only Legend in the Series, and it was like we were trying to find out who the Disney legend is. I mean, you could just Google it and find out who it was. But I kind of tried to make it kind of sound a little true crimey, and I had fun kind of doing some of the outside of the box thing with that. And it was cool because it was like a little mini series, and I love a little mini series. And I started to incorporate it more into the videos I would do. So had I have some more. Well, I'll have another mini series I took that I'll talk about in a second. But I got a couple more episodes I want to mention. Is My video about Las Vegas and Disney was actually my first. Like, I'm gonna try this YouTube thing. I'm going to make the video first before I make the audio. So, like, really plan out the video stuff. And so that was about a year and a few months ago when I did Las Vegas and Disney after I came back from a trip there. So that was really cool. And I from there, I like, never turned back. It was like, now we're going to do this video thing. And then I kind of took my mini series and video idea and put them together. And in the fall, I did a whole series about 80s like pop royalty, like Madonna, Michael Jackson, and Prince. And the first video in that series was about Madonna and Disney. And that one really took off in a big way. So I was like really excited when that happened. And then that just kind of kept me going more and more in on these video ones. So that was pretty cool. I love to do an outside the box episode every once in a while. Like in that series, I did one where I kind of did a character in the Prince video, which was kind of fun. It was like Camille was like a character Prince did, and I tried to incorporate that in there. If you didn't check it, like go take a look and you'll see what I mean. But I also did some other outside the box episodes that I think I want to mention here real quick. I did one with my wife, and we sampled a bunch of Disney family of wines. So like Disney has all these like wineries that are somehow related to the company, and we tried those, and we kind of recorded the episode over the course of a few weeks or like a week, where we would try one and kind of talk about it and then talk a little bit about Disney, and then it'd be like the next time we try another one. That's pretty cool. That one is one of those old audio only ones. But as far as like thinking outside the box and doing some more interesting, weird episodes, just recently I did one about David Lynch and Disney. And if you're a fan of David Lynch and his Twin Peaks, especially, he did these things where they would film in this, like, it was called the Black Lodge. It's like the iconic red curtained room, and they would film the scenes like the voices backwards and then play them forward, but it was like forward talking backwards. It's really eerie. So like I worked on saying all of my intro to the show backwards to do like a Black Lodge voice. So I love when I get to experiment with things like that. It was really cool to do some of those. And here we are now adding more experimentation in here with a live stream. So in addition to this, like if you're listening and you have a favorite, like, oh my, I mean, I've been talking about my favorite milestone episodes of Synergy Loves Company, but if you have one and you're like, this is the one that I really enjoyed, you definitely pop it in the chat, because I'd love to hear it from you, and we'll definitely give that one a shout out too. Um, but let's talk about the future of Synergy Loves Company, because I was talking about how I love those mini series, and so I have I actually had Sean Jex on the show 2 episodes ago. It was a interview episode, and I read his book Dreaming in Digital, and we were talking all about video games and Disney. In fact, that's what the book's about. It's called Dreaming in Digital: The World of Disney Video Games, 50 games from 81 to today. And so as I was reading it, I was like, there's some stories in here that I think need to be kind of expanded and told in my, not just our interview, but like I want to kind of do my little video essay thing with those games and those companies that Disney worked with. So as you can see, I've been marking this all up, and that's where we're going later this summer. Like the next few episodes, we're going to be going into the video game realm. I wish we were going in there like Tron and we could be beamed in there, but maybe we'll have to try something like that. Anyways, that's where we're going next. The miniseries that is all these Disney video game companies that they worked with. So I'm excited about that for the future. All right, so I keep on like coming out of the show to talk about the show and like what we did. So we did our news, which will be one of our fixtures on our live shows. I had fun giving you some synergy news. Then we talked about the show in our feature presentation time. I kind of teased this at the beginning. I Let me just tell you, I have a problem where I like to buy Lorcana cards. I buy too many cards. I don't always open them right away, and I put them in my drawer. So when I go live, I've decided I'm going to open some Lorcana cards, and we'll uh, take a look at which ones I got. So if that's interesting to you, I've only played a little, but I love the art on these cards, and hopefully you'll see what I mean about that when we get into this. So we'll get into our next kind of fun segment here, which we're gonna open a pack. We're gonna open a pack of Lorcana cards. Where's my video bumper? Here we go. All right. So here we go. I got my camera on my Lorcana cards here. We'll see what's going on in here. This is a set from Into the Inklands. Oh, let's see. Oh, there you go. I got a comment. I got to shout him out because he's friend of the show, MJR3D. Really enjoyed the deep dives with Jim Varney, the ones we did um about Ernest and the Power Rangers. So thanks for shouting those ones out. Those ones did blow up. Well, the Jim Varney one did blow up in a big way, um, not too long ago, which was really exciting. Um, but yes, let's get into the Inklands here with our Lorcana Into the Inklands. Inklands. All these have they have like a little story behind them, and then there's all the different alternate versions of the characters. So let's see what we've got here. We've got some stuff about some new rules, moving damage. All right, let's do it this way. So this tells us all about the new rules. That's not as exciting as the art on the cards. Parts of a location card. So we're just learning about new locations and rules. Let's see what we've got here though. I'm gonna bring it over here. We've got a Milo Thatch. Ooh, that's from our good old Atlantis. Milo. That one's got a little sheen to it. I don't know if it's exactly a foil, but maybe it is. A Milo Thatch foil. That's exciting. I think it is now that I'm looking at these. Audrey Ramirez. I believe is she from see now I can't remember things. Is she from Treasure Planet? Someone's gonna be like, why you having to take your Disney card away because you don't know who these randos are. That's okay. Ooh, I got a Pride Lands. So we've got some. I know that's the Lion King. I just love the art on these. You got all the birds flying off of Pride Rock. Like I said, I haven't played as much as I would have liked to, but I got to get into it. But I still will buy packs because of the art. Tiana's Palace. Check that out. It's a jazz restaurant. Characters can't be challenged while they're there. Oh, that's nice. They get a night out. Jafar. Ooh, they got actually the newest set is like a big Jafar kind of creepy Jafar taking over everything set. This is like a regular Jafar. He's a lamp thief. That remains true for the movie. All right, we've got has set my heart. This is a song. He's not real smart, and yet he's touched my little cowhide heart. There you go. So we've got Clarabelle singing on that one. That was pretty neat. Let's see what else we got. We're getting towards the end. I got quite a few more. I've got Orville. Oh, from The Rescuers. Oh, that one's cool. He's an ace pilot. Let's see what more we've got. Ooh, Stitch. This is a little rocket Stitch. So this character can turn when they're played. So he's got the 626, all the extra arms going on there, and he's a rocket. Let's see. We've got Eeyore. He is overstuffed donkey. That for sure is true. He looks so sad, but that's Eeyore. He's always looking so sad. This one is the vault door. This one you can see the shadow of Scrooge McDuck. So we've got Scrooge McDuck's vault here. The vault door. Only Scrooge knows about this vault, and he's going to keep it that way. So you could kind of seal things away behind the vault door. Pua. Oh, from Moana. He's a pot-bellied buddy. That's for sure. That's true in this movies, and it's true right here in this card. And we've got one more. This is the last one in the pack. Let's see what it is. Oh, DeVille Manor. Oh, that's creepy. Look at that. Cruella DeVille's, decrepit old house here where she likes to kidnap dogs. So that's kind of creepy. So there we go. So all of these Lorcana cards, like I said, I have this problem where I buy too many Lorcana cards and I don't always open them. And I haven't played that often. So getting these on the live stream, I'll open some and we'll take a look at the beautiful, wonderful art in there. This one was really cool. It was the foil, as I saw, and it's Milo from Atlantis. Can't get it to zoom now. Put my hand under there. There we go. So that one's really neat. He's a floodborn hero king. All right. So we did our Lorcana cards quota for today. One pack. We'll leave it to one pack. I don't know if you want to see me open more packs in the future. Let me know. We could do like a all Lorcana openings kind of video day session. So I have the last piece of the puzzle here that I was telling you is I have an activity to do. So I have this new segment that I want to do. Well, new, I guess all of the live stream segments are new. But this one is the one where I'll probably do the most checking in with you on chat, seeing what's going on. And we're going to do an activity together. And so this segment I like to call Think and Paint, like ink and paint, but we're gonna think and paint. You'll see. We'll talk more about it in a second. So here we go. Let's get into thinking. All right. So in this Think and Paint segment, I will, like I said, I'll go answer some chat questions if you have any. I'll talk about what's going on here, and I'm going to always try to do something creative. So like the thinking is like we'll talk, we'll brainstorm, maybe we'll come up with ideas for new episodes together. But then we're going to do some sort of like art project because why not? So what I have right here, I'm kind of excited about this, is I have some Shrinky Dinks. These are Disney Junior Shrinky Dinks. I am doing the kids Shrinky Dinks, but that's quite all right. I'm fine with doing kids Shrinky Dinks, and I think we could have a lot of fun with it. So first off, I'm gonna pull up my camera here. Let's get more view on the Shrinky Dinks, less on me. There we go. So we've got this box of Shrinky Dinks. I haven't opened it yet. We're gonna open it, see what's inside, and then I'm gonna color some Shrinky Dinks, and we're gonna see. I probably won't eat them up while we're talking here today, but I'll definitely record what happens when I do heat them up. So let's open up the Disney Shrinky Dinks Junior Mickey and Friends set here. And so we'll see what's inside. It's like an unboxing video sneaking in here, secret unboxing video of all sorts of Shrinky Dink stuff. So this is like the main, these are all the special Shrinky Dink paper where you could punch things out. Got some documentation about how to cook these things once you're done coloring them. That's important because you want to shrink them. And then what else we got here? Oh, we got little stands. You could use these to stand up the little figures once you've Shrinky Dinked them, if that's the word that you use to describe what you do. And then they gave me some little color pencils that seem to be all the right colors. Although I have my own color pencils, so that's kind of what I'm going to use. So what I'll do is I'm going to pick out some of these shrinky dinks to do. And while I color some shrinky dinks, I would love it if you join me with something that you would like to like. If you in the future, just know I am going to be doing some sort of creative art project, and you could join me in doing some art of your own. I love to show some of the art or creativity that you do while you're spending time on these live streams if you do decide to join in. So this one's got Donald Duck, and we've got Pluto. We've got some Minnies and Mickeys. It's weird that the Minnie's eyes and Mickey's eyes are like very different vibes there. Here's like a full Mickey sheet of just Mickey stuff. We've got Pluto and Goofy on this same one here. Pluto and Goofy. Donald Duck. I kind of like this Donald one. I think I had one of those back here too. Oh, he's got a different pose. I like this pose for Donald, so I think I might actually do that one. And then there's a ton in here. I got this on sale at Michael's a while back, and there's a ton of these. So, anyways, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna color Donald Duck. And while I do that, because this is Think and Paint, I'm gonna give you guys some things to think about. So, I want to know, and you could let me know in the chat. Well, you are you're thinking and painting along with me. But I want to know what how do you connect to Disney when you can't be at the park? So the show Synergy Loves Company is all about connecting to Disney in different ways when you can't be at the park. So if you normally love to be at Disney theme parks, which I do, um, what do you do when you can't be there? So if you got a way that you like to connect to Disney when you can't be at the parks, let me know so that we can talk about it. I personally love to make podcasts and videos and decorate this wall behind me and all those kind of things because that makes it and wear very loud Disney shirts when I can, like these ones, because those ones make me feel connected to Disney. Like, it's all those kind of little things. I'm not close to the parks. A lot of people who make Disney content live just like in the backyard of the parks, right? They like in Florida, in California, and they can go whenever they want. I don't often get to go, so it's like I gotta find my Disney magic other ways. Movies, Disney Plus, TV shows, all that kind of stuff. Um, so yeah, if you have a way that you like to connect to Disney, let me know. Or if you're working on I mean, I didn't tell you, I didn't give you homework. I should have gave you homework and told you in the description or in the thumbnail, the video. I should have told you, hey, I'm going to be doing an art project at the end, and I want you to join me. But you'll know for next time that if you come to watch Synergy live here, like we're doing, that you'll want to bring something to do because we're going to do some art together. So real quick, I do have a Donald. You can't see it, but over here you kind of see the edge of it here. I have a Donald Duck mouse pad. It's got a bunch of junk on it right now, so I'm not going to even turn my camera to show you, but it's helping me get my colors right because I got to think about this sometimes. Where are my colors? So, anyways, I've got my blue for his hat. I do love how with Shrinky Dinks, even if you don't get in there perfectly, when they shrink, it will fill in those spaces. Although I do like to fill them in perfectly if I can, because it will make it look better. I haven't done these in a long time. I was shocked when I saw them at the store because I was like, Shrinky Dinks. I didn't know for sure if they even still made those, but here we are, and it seems like they do because I got them right here in front of me. I know too, you can get your own your own Shrinky Dinks paper and print out your own designs, which that would be like if you're a Disney artist, you could do like a print of your Disney art, and not necessarily like a professional Disney artist. You might be the, fan artist. You could do like a print of your Disney design, and then you don't have to just do what's here in this set, and that would be pretty cool. Donald. I'll have to find somewhere after I shrink this. Like I said, I'll make a little video of me shrinking this for sure. We'll do like a close up lapse of it shrinking. But after we shrink this, I'll have to find a place to put it in my set. I don't know if you could see in the little picture, but I just had my daughter help me redo my set because I got a donation of Toy Story characters from my son. He just wanted a new place to put them, and we said, "Well, hey, we could put them in the Disney set." So they're up on the top shelf, kind of back there, if you can see them. So I took those on. So now I have like almost a full set of Star Wars, Toy Story characters that are living on the shelf back there. So I'll have to find a spot for Donald though. All right, so I got Donald in his blue, in his yellow. Oh, I can see. Actually, sometimes I could see on this camera a little bit better where my pencil needs to go to fill in some extra spots. Get the comments like, "Hey, you missed a spot." That would be fine. Let me know. Did I miss a spot? All right, let's see. So this band is yellow. Like I said, I'm using my cheat sheet, um, my Donald mouse pad to help me. Now his beak and his feet are actually a little bit more orange, so I'm gonna go over it with this color to kind of split the difference. Do a little color combining, have a little more contrast between the feet and the stripes on his jacket. And we'll see how he turns out. I'll have to learn how to best color this to get I don't even know if you can see that on the video, but he does look a little more orange when I put this on there. And blending these colors together. Um, but we'll have to see how the colors turn out. I'm gonna learn. Maybe I'll have to do more Shrinky Dinks in the future on the air. Why not? It'd be great. Let's get his bow tie. Good deep red here. Do this like Bob Ross and do some happy little trees or something. Oh, there you go. I got a comment here, or I'll pop it up here. Uh, so MJR3D, his cousin was doing Shrinky Dinks and then turning them into earrings. That could be pretty cool. This sounds like an Etsy store right there, in the making. So maybe that'll inspire you. That's a good way to do it. And then if you're drawing your own, you could the sky's the limit. You could make them whatever you want them to be. Oh, there's my blue. I was like, where did I put my blue? You could do all sorts of designs. Right, let's see. I still have to do like a deeper red for the tongue. Let's use the same one like the bow tie. And then maybe a darker orange for that inside beak. And then I think I just have to, that's actually a brighter orange. I thought it was darker. These Prismacolor things, that's what I'm using here. Sometimes their outsides don't match the insides. Add a little of this to it to kind of even it out. And then I don't know. I know with Shrinky Dinks when it shrinks, you get a little white, but I think I'm still gonna add a little bit of white color pencil, kind of finish it up. So we're almost there. I think I'll probably only do Donald. No, we're gonna do the entire Shrinky Dink pack, and we're gonna color all of them. Well, no, we're not gonna do that. We'd be here literally all day, probably longer, probably longer than all day. Go into the hours and hours afterwards. All right, we're almost to a point. Like I said, I like that I can be a little sloppy with the Shrinky Dinks because they do kind of even out when you make them into a shrinky part thing, when they're shrunk, when they are shrunken. I probably could have just colored right into his eyes because those are also going to be white. And there we go. Got Donald, and he's ready. Of course, he's going to look better from this side, but that's going to help me too see that I got to get his forehead a little bit better. Let's flip it over again and see what he looks like. Not too bad. I am going to touch up my blue a little bit in a couple of spots. There we go. We've got Donald ready to be shrunky dunk, and that's what we've got. So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna love to do more of these shows, these live shows in the future when we have different topics. Like I said, I'd love to bring guests on the live shows. Let's go back to me here. I'd love to bring guests on, maybe do more of the interview shows in this live format, because then it would be cool if you could join me in all of that, which would be really cool. Oh yeah. Again, we got a comment here where it's like, now think of all the cell painters in the olden days of Disney and how fast they work. It took me that long just to do Donald, and if I had to do like 1,000 more of those with incremental movements, that would be yowza. It would take a while. So here with it, and it kind of has that like cell painting vibe, right? Like from the back to the front, you can see the color change there. Um, I don't want to be a cell painter and work in real ink and paint, but actually, our art project for Think and Paint ended up being a lot like ink and paint. So that's kind of punny there. But anyways, so I'm happy with the way that this live show turned out, and like I said, I'd love to do some more of these in the future. Um, so definitely keep your eyes peeled for that. Just know that we're going to be doing, like I said, more video game centric episodes coming up in the near future. And so come in. I would love it. Well, first off, thanks for spending your time with me today on this special live episode of Synergy Loves Company. And you know, remember that Disney magic isn't just in the parks; it is all around us. It's in the Shrinky Dinks right here too. So go out there and keep discovering the magic in everything. And I'll see you next time.